Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm here to talk about books and my plans for February. So this is part 2 of my previous video. The reason I'm putting it into 2 parts is because our internet has been up and down for the last couple of weeks. We had a lot of wind here a few weeks ago, and ever since then it's kind of been cutting out. I don't know whether it has anything to do with it or whether it's coincidence, but I do notice that the weather does play a part when it comes to internet. I don't know whether that's a scientific or not, but that's what I've noticed anyway. And I don't like calling them because they use voice recognition, which doesn't always recognize your voice, and you're always on hold for half an hour at least. And so I'm trying to put off calling them, but I'm hoping that shorter videos will have a better chance of uploading than the longer videos. Anyway, I always forget to talk about books when I call my updates, so I will talk about the books I'm reading now. I finished the book I was reading in my last video, which was Home Fire by Kamila Shamsie. It was an excellent book. It's hard for me to talk about without giving away too much of the story, so I'm just going to say that I really enjoyed it. It came highly recommended from The Book Club, which is a TV series that has sadly ended, but it was here in Australia for 10 years. It was an excellent book. So yeah, if you have the chance to pick that up, I recommend it. It was a really good book. It's not an easy read at all, but really good. Next one, I'm still reading Sense and Sensibility. I've read this book many times before, so it's a reread for me. So it's not a priority to finish, but and that's why it's taking me a bit longer, because I wanted to finish Home Fire. And so yeah, this is kind of on the side. I've got it going on the side, so yeah, but still enjoying it, even though it's my umpteenth read. And I'm also reading Victoria the Queen, which is kind of like a biography of Victoria. We've had recently Victoria on TV. It's a TV series, and the actual draw for me was Rufus Sewell, who acts as Lord Melbourne in that TV series, and I got hooked onto it. And he's now gone. He's no longer a character, but yeah, I'm really enjoying the series, and so I picked up this book at the library, and I'm enjoying that. I'm not very far along. I've only read that much, but yeah, I just picked this up for a few minutes every night before I go to bed. So they're the books I'm reading. I'm going to participate in Stitch Mania's Winter Olympics Challenge, which is basically a theme for every day, and you have to find, or you try to find, a piece that will fit in with every theme. So you'll work on a different piece every day. I've mentioned before that I'm going to go on a retreat starting next Friday. I can't wait, I'm so excited. And that's actually the opening ceremony of the Winter Olympics. So I won't be leaving home until about 6 p.m. that evening. So I'll have the whole day to work on something. And then after that, I'll be at the Mirabilia retreat. Nora Corbett's going to be at this retreat, and I think Miss So Crafty, hi Stephanie if you're watching, you mentioned that it would be okay to work on something other than a Mirabilia at the retreat. The reason I'm hesitant to do that is because Nora Corbett will be there, and just out of respect for her, I think it would be better to work on just Mirabilias. That's just me. I don't know whether other people will have different ideas. So I've just tried my hardest to fit in the Mirabilias that I'm working on already into the themes that we're going with those days. So yeah, it wasn't too much of a challenge. I mean, I did have to make up a story. Well, I did stretch things a little bit to make it work, but it works, so that's what we're going to go with. Anyway, so Friday the 9th of February is the opening ceremony, and the challenge is to work on a new start or a most recent start. I haven't actually started this yet, but I'm all ready to start, and that's Strawberry Fields Forever by Blackbird Designs. And I will be stitching this on a 28 count even weave. I think it's a Lugana that I tea dyed. I use chamomile tea to dye it, so it's a light yellow. So I will be starting that next Friday. It's very exciting. I can't wait. And then the second day is Saturday, the 10th of February, so I will be at the retreat. And the theme is Winter Olympics, and the challenge is to find a winter-themed cross-stitch. I'm working on Summer Queen. And the reason I'm doing that is because in Australia, when we have our summer, the rest of the world is having their winter. And the Winter Olympics are being held in our summer. So I've decided to work on Summer Queen by Mirabilia. And again, I've shown you this in my last video, but I'll show it again in the interest of completeness. And this is what I've done so far, and it's on Indian Sunset 28 count Monaco by Colour Cascade Fabrics. So I will spend the Saturday on her. The Sunday is also, well, the Sunday is the South Korea, which is where the Winter Olympics are being held, and the challenge is to do something South Korean related. So here's Soda Stitch, which is a Korean company. The flag is red, blue, white and black, and so I've decided to go with the flag being red, blue, white and black and use the blue and white that is in this pattern. So again, I'll be working on Summer Queen for Sunday. The Monday, I'll be back from retreat by then, and the mascots for the Winter Olympics are Suharang, which is a white tiger, and Bandarbi, which is an Asiatic black bear. So the challenge is to work on something with an animal on it, and I will be working on Fantasy Triptych by Teresa Wentzler, which I will insert a picture here of what it will look like when it's finished. And that has a horse on it, and so this is where I'm going to pick it up from. My goal for this piece for the rest of the year is to complete that first page, which I'm working on now. So complete this whole archway. So any chance I get to work on it will be good, because although it's only a small area, it is a lot of confetti and tweeding, and so yeah, I'd like to have the chance to work on that. So that's that one. Tuesday is speed skating, so set a time limit and see how much progress you can make. And I think I'll probably work on Fantasy Triptych again on the Tuesday. I don't know what time limit I'm going to check. I'm going to set. It kind of depends on what else we're doing that day. So yeah, it's a Tuesday, so I'll have my daughter with me. I don't know yet. Yeah, usually we do something on Tuesdays, so I don't know how much time I'll have, but we'll see. Wednesday is the medals. Stitch on any piece requiring metallics or beads. I will be pulling out my Emerald Mermaid by Mirabilia, which will look like this when it's finished. And my goal for this one is to finish by the end of the year, so I'm hoping that I can get that done. And that's where she is at the moment. This is being stitched on Summer Sky 28 count Lagana. I think it's from Zweigart or Witchelt. I can't quite remember. It's one of those two. It doesn't have the orange zigzags on the edge, but I got it from 123 Stitch. And sorry, it's not a 28 count, it's a 32 count, this one. Thursday the 15th is Skeleton, which is the sliding sport, and the challenge is to work on something Halloween themed. I don't really do Halloween, so I've come up with the closest thing that I could find, and that is, I don't know if this is strictly adhering to the spirit of the challenge, but I'm working on Victorian Charm by Dimensions, because it kind of looks like a spooky house. It could be a spooky house. There's a black cat. That's as close as I'm going to get to a Halloween themed piece, because like I said, I don't really do Halloween. And that's it there so far. And I think my goal for this one was to get up to about there on this. So any chance I have to work on it again will be really helpful. And that's on 18 count navy blue Ada. So that's the first 7 days. Now the second week starts with the Friday, which is the biathlon. Stitch on 2 pieces today, and I've decided to pull out Boy King Carmen by Janlynn. And this is being stitched on 14 count through Ada. And this is easily my oldest bit. I've got sticky tape on the side, so it's not an heirloom piece or anything, so it's fine, but that's where I am at the moment. I've replaced the remaining metallic that I've got to work with. I've replaced it with chronic, so it won't make me pull my hair out and put me into a mental asylum, because the metallic thread that it came with is ridiculous. It's just, yeah. Sorry, just trying to fold it properly. So I will, and my goal for this year is to finish that piece, and I don't think it will take me long. There's not much left on that. Saturday is figure skating, any piece that requires specialty stitches. And so, oh, and the other piece that I'm working on for the biathlon is Dreaming of Tuscany by the Gold Collection Petites Dimensions. Yes, it is Dimensions. Just had to check. I didn't really enjoy this the last time I picked it up, but I'm hoping that if I just do very small amount of work on it every time I pull it out, I will get it done eventually. So that's what it's looking like at the moment. And my goal for this year is to finish that one as long as it doesn't take away my stitchy bug. So we'll see how we go. Okay, and then we have figure skating, any piece that requires specialty stitches. So that will be my Chatelaine Alpine Seasons Garden, which is this one. Sorry about the glare. Yeah. I should enjoy this more than I am, and I think the reason I'm not enjoying it as much is because it's on paper. I got the printed version, and it's a bit hard to read, but I'm gonna persevere. So here is where it is at the moment. And at the moment too, I'm kind of really looking forward to getting to the specialty stitches, but at the moment it's only cross stitch. There's been a little bit of 1/1 with the bird. There's been the clouds, which are half stitches over 1, or no, half stitches over 2. And the trees are cross stitched. But my goal for this one is to finish the center part of the design by the end of the year. So this is being stitched on a piece of 32 count linen in sassafras from Stitches and Spice, which are no longer in business, but they were an Australian company back in the day. Sunday is Heaven, Earth and Humanity. Stitch on any piece related to these themes. So I thought I'd pull out my Heaven and Earth piece. And it will be Secret Door, which will look like this when it's finished. And this is what I've got so far. I'm hoping to finish this one this year. It's a Storykeep. So it's got half a page here, and then it goes down for, I think, 2.5 more pages lengthwise. So I'm hoping to finish that this year, but that's where it is at the moment. I love this piece. And I thought it kind of looks a little bit ethereal with the candle and things, so that will fit. And humanity, there's a human in it, so it works. Monday is 15 sport disciplines, something related to the number 15. So I'm pulling out, this is going to be a new start. It is 6 Wives of Henry VIII by the primitive Hare. And I'm working on this because it actually has 15 colours. And I'm working on, sorry if I haven't even pulled this out of its packaging, but this is Old Salem linen, 30 count, which was hand dyed by the primitive Hare for this piece. I think it actually works for a couple of pieces that they sell. But yeah, I've never actually worked on the primitive Hare designs before, so this will be a first for me. But it was a planned start for this year, so I thought it was a good opportunity to start. Tuesday the 20th is Olympic Village. The challenge is to work on a house or other building, and that will be Victorian charm again by Dimensions. Wednesday is 79 Nations, stitch on something related to the number 7 and the number 9. I'm going to pull out Emerald Mermaid. Both the words Emerald and Mermaid have 7 letters in them, and Mirabilia has 9 letters in them, so that works. Tuesday the 22nd, international competition. Stitch on a piece with an international or travel theme, and I will be pulling out Afternoon in London by Cottage Needleworks, which currently looks like this. And this is being stitched on Islands of Avalon 28 count Opal Lugana by Colour Cascade Fabrics. Friday the 23rd of the 2nd is, the host city is Pyeongchang, something related to the letter P or the letter C. So I will pull out my Prairie schooler because Prairie is P, and I will be working on the C block. And I have currently got 1.5 blocks done on that one. And this is again on a 28 count Lugana, and I'm stitching that one over 1. 4 crosses. Saturday the 24th is 4 new events, a piece that requires you to do something you've never done before. So new design and new material, new stitch. That will be Strawberry Fields Forever by Blackbird Designs, because I've never worked on a Blackbird design piece before. And Sunday the 25th is the closing ceremony, a piece you're close to finishing, and I will be working on Boy King by Janlynn, the Tutankhamun piece. So that's it, that's my plans. For the first half of February, that will take up the majority of February, but I will also work on the Guardians of Notre Dame, which I will pull out probably tomorrow because that's when the second piece comes out. And I will probably also work on Faithful Friends, the stocking by Heaven and Earth Designs, which will be for the By the Numbers challenge on the Full Coverage Fanatics Facebook page. So I'm pretty sure that's all I've got for you this month. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your comments, for liking and subscribing. I really love getting your comments. I do try and reply to every single one of them. If I miss you for some reason, it's not intentional, so please comment again if I have missed you. And feel free to comment if you have any questions as well, or if you just want to know something about any of the things I'm stitching. But yeah, so enjoy the rest of enjoy February. Sorry, I don't know what that was. Some neighbour doing something. probably a good time for me to go actually. So I'll talk to you in a couple of weeks. Bye everyone.